mishap on the trail today.
Last night, one of our Jeeps started leaking at the transfer case. We picked up a new seal on the way back to the Airbnb.
How goes the process?
It's begun.
It's begun. Say hello.
Hi.
Hey. I don't need you.
Getting the seal fixed last night was a pretty major accomplishment. Then we flipped over to filling up the transfer case in the morning.
Smells like success.
Oh my god, there's...
Oh, you did.
This was super low.
That was super low. Holy smokes.
There was like no flooding. Day 6. Canyonlands National Park, Elephant Hill. Hopefully it's not raining too much so we can do this trail.
Weather in Utah this time of year is a bit unpredictable. We left Moab with great weather, but ran into rain, then sleet, and then chunky snow. I have to say I was a bit skeptical of the day, as guides I had read said Elephant Hill was rough when it was wet. The snow started falling pretty heavy as we pulled up to the guard shack here, but you know, we drove this far, so let's check it out.
Morning!
Hi there, morning.
Fun weather, huh?
Beautiful. Just keeps us on our toes.
Looks like you've been having fun.
A little bit. Well, we were hoping to have fun at Elephant Hill today. We got the backcountry pass. Do I
You
still?
already have the permits?
I already have the permits.
Yeah, do you have your park pass?
I don't have a park pass
Okay.
though.
So what you're going to do, since you have to go in to the visitor center anyways, your visitor center is just down the road and on the right.
Okay.
So when you go over there, you're just going to pay your park entrance fee with them.
Okay.
And they'll also be able to help you with what the road actually is or anything like that if you haven't been.
Okay.
Does anyone in your group, are you all together?
Yeah, we're all together.
Anyone have a pet?
No.
Perfect. Good, good, good. And everyone needs the permits or everyone already has them?
We already went online yesterday at 8
Reserved
a.m.
them?
Yep.
Perfect. So just stop by the visitor center, pay your entrance fees. They'll just go over some like the high things that we really want to let folks know, especially with this weather. And then you're solid.
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
Have a lovely time.
Thank you.
Welcome.
See ya.
We checked in and hung out at the visitor center for a while, but the snow just kept on coming. We looked at each other and said, oh well, let's see how far we can make it. So off we went. Once we left pavement, the road to the trailhead parking lot was pretty uneventful. A bit sloppy due to the rain and snow, but we made it down. Not knowing how far we were going to go, and seeing that there were some street vehicles making the first switchback climb, we chose not to air down and just hit it. This was also the point where I regretted not airing down. It was a really rough ride up, but I was sure as heck wasn't stopping here to air down. Coming up to this little turnaround space, my pucker factor was a bit elevated. The rocks were slippery, and there's, as you can see, there are no rails here. What a view, though.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, makes more sense now.
So we get up to the top here, and then go a little further up to where the next set of switchbacks go down, and then we start to air down. Now, as we're airing down, the snow stops, and the sun comes out. Look at this. It's like it knew we were coming and was just messing with us. So this next set of switchbacks is not super long, but it's definitely, it's a bit challenging. As we nose in here, the instructions for the trail say that you nose in, and then you have to go in reverse around a curve to the next spot where you can pull in, and then you go straight to continue down the rest of the switchbacks. I'm pretty decent at backing up, but if you aren't, you probably want to practice if you're going to take this trail, because as you look on the left there is no margin for error. It's about, I don't know, 75 to 100 feet down.
Alright, yeah, so you end up backing around the curve, and then there's a spot you can back into to go straight the rest of the way down. And there's a nice big ledge as you go down it.
Once you finish the switchbacks, there's probably a mile or two of relatively easy riding. These are going through some washes, and it's going to cue you up before you start the first actual obstacles here at the ledge. After the first set of obstacles, the trail opens up to some just gorgeous landscape. Elephant Hill definitely has the most diverse landscape to look at, but I wouldn't expect anything less, honestly, in a national park, would you? But remember, kids, this trail is in a national park. You need to remember and respect the rules of the park to visit, to make sure those after us can also experience it. As strange as it is, this trail actually was hard to visually follow. Here, my eyes picked up on the right to be the correct trail, but definitely have some mapping software so you can help also understand where the trail goes so you don't end up driving where you shouldn't be going.
I see.
It's super easy to get zeroed in and just focus on the trail and then forget about the beauty around you. We had to stop and take a whole bunch of pictures. Man, it was just breathtaking. So about 3 or so miles in, we enter into this next section called the Devil's Pocket. According to Trails Off-Road, it's arguably the most well-known obstacle of Elephant Hill. It's a narrow slot canyon, but allows no room for error. As you can see, as we get tighter and tighter in here, we're about 100 feet in front is the tightest spot. You can see scrape marks on both walls. Jeff in the back had, with his 40s, he was a little wider than the rest of us, and you'll see him struggle a bit to come through here, but man, much wider, you're going to get some body damage coming through here, so just be prepared for that. If you have awnings or rooftop tents or something that protrudes from the top, also remember that as you go through here, but what a cool experience. All right, Jeff's turn. Here we go.
Are we touching tires? Yeah. Oh, my.
1 second, I grab my handheld GoPro. Hold on.
That's what's called a tight squeeze. Ooh, kicked me over there a little bit. How much room I got? None. Really? You're crawling this side. Am I really? Yes. I can't go.
Can you move your, is your tire over there too?
Yeah.
After I made it through, I jumped out and grabbed the handheld GoPro and just had to watch these guys come through. Here's Ruslan in his JKU. It's got a little wider tires, but you can see there's really no room for error here.
It's pretty tight, huh?
Oh yeah.
And here comes Jeff in. You can see him having to climb the wall a little bit, but at the sacrifice of the driver's side mirror, you'll see him climb up here. It just takes a second right at the tightest spot, and flick. There he goes. Now he's through.
There you go. You're wider than all of us.
Our lunch stop for the day was in the Devil's Kitchen campground. There's a couple campsites that we passed on the way in. I'm sure you can reserve those through the Park Service. I think it would be absolutely amazing to camp in this location overnight or for a couple days, but check it out if you're interested in that kind of stuff. But at the end of the campground, there was a little place to sit and a place to eat.
Well, back in the Jeep. Just finished up lunch. And Devil's Kitchen is what that was. I don't remember what I called it before, but it's what it is. So we're back on the trail, rolling down, heading toward the fork to stay on the loop. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. We just had snow flurries a minute ago, but they evaporated as soon as I touched anything. So, pretty nice. But we're keeping an eye on those skies to make sure that nothing too crazy comes back in while we're sitting down in here and still have some switchbacks doing the way out.
Coming out, you can actually choose at this point to go toward a more significant obstacle, SOB Hill, which then is kind of a down and out leg of the trail, or you can head out here on Devil's Lane and shoot across the landscape to head over towards some other stuff. There's a couple S-curves here you navigate through what's called the Narrow Passage. It's not as tight as the Devil's Pocket, but it definitely doesn't give you too much room for error. The last famous obstacle coming out of Elephant Hill is called the Silver Stairs. You'll hear in a second how hard the wind was whipping through here.
Oh! Yeah, watch out for what I just landed on.
Coming out of the Silver Stairs, you can look off to the right and see some tire tracks where people previous to you have gone up this little outcropping. And there's some rocks at the top. It's a nice little photo op spot, so, oh, perch, here we go. Coming off of the Silver Stairs takes you to a little bit of a rocky descent, and you're working your way down to the final wash to drive through and exit the trail. Coming back out the wash, all of a sudden you're at the switchbacks again, and I admit they surprised me how quickly they came up. So we started climbing. Vehicles going up have right of way, so we ended up running into this guy here who was on his way down. I just pulled over to the side, gave him a quick howdy do, held traffic at the bottom and let him clear so we could make our way up. See, no big deal. Our visitor passed by relatively unscathed, and we continued our way up the mountain.
Yep, all good.
Good luck.
Heading back down the switchbacks, we looked back on Elephant Hill, and while it was not the most technical one out of our entire Moab journey, sure as heck it was one of the more beautiful ones. So made our way down, came back up to town, and had time to start Steelbender. So here we go, starting in Steelbender. Here's the gate, probably about 5:30, 6 o'clock, so we knew we weren't going to be able to run the entirety of Steelbender, but we talked and agreed we're going to take the first 2 to 3 miles of it. The first 3/4 mile or so of Steelbender is pretty uneventful. You're mostly kind of getting to the trail, so a couple river crossings. However, This one, we actually flipped out one of our co-pilots here, Josh and Jeff, here in the red JKU. Josh had never actually done a bunch of off-roading before, so this was a great opportunity with a low traffic trail at the time to be able to take some obstacles on his own. Here's his first ever descent down a waterfall. Hell yeah, Josh. Coming out of the creek in the wash, there's a bit of a steep climb to pull up here. Here's the three of us making our way up.
Whoa.
Just about 2.5 miles in is where the trail truly starts up here. This is the first series of ledges. It's the trail widens quite wide here and traverses multiple ledges. You saw Jeff and Josh there in the red JKU take the first chunk. Here I'm coming up a slightly less aggressive angle because I don't have quite as much under truck clearance as they do. So forgive the graininess of the video here. I was kind of angled up into the sunset, so it was a bit washed out. But as we keep going walking through here, there's a few other obstacles to go through. We noticed it was getting kind of dark, so this was going to be one of the last obstacles we did before turning around. But you can see some pretty serious off-camber action in here. I can't wait to come back to Moab and really run this thing from soup to nuts. This one looks like an absolutely fantastic trail to do all the way through. Now it's starting to get kind of darker here, and this obstacle is called the waterfall. We were having some difficulties, we'll say, taking up the throat like we were supposed to here. But then all of a sudden Rustlin found a different line that went just to the side, so we just licked the side of the waterfall just to get out of there. There was a line of about 13 or 14 Jeeps right behind us, actually Jeeps and Broncos, so wanted to get out of there pretty quick.
Hello again, Andy coming from the cab of the Jeep. We are coming back down Steel Bender as the last trail for our epic Moab adventure. It's getting late in the evening, and to be honest with you, we're going to go catch the sunset at Arches. So we took the first roughly 2.5 miles of Steel Bender, because it was right by our Airbnb as well. And man, did it wet our whistle to come back and hit this one in full force when we have time. But hell of a high note to take the last trail here on Steel Bender. So, man, what a week! Obviously, you'll be seeing some highlights in the videos to come, but oof. I hope you have at least 10% as much fun watching them as I had making them. And yeah, so awesome, guys. Thanks again for watching. We'll talk to you soon.